Hello and welcome to Cooking with Love in the heart of Avalon. Come on in. Hello and welcome to Cooking with Love in the Heart of Avalon. I'm your host, Heidi Couture, and today we are going to be doing one of my favorite things, is to be building cheese boards. But these just aren't your average cheese and biscuits. This goes OTT all the way. So what I'd like to talk about is the elements that you should include in an interesting cheese board or into a sharing tray. And one of my favorite things to do is to have friends over on my lovely veranda overlooking my English garden and to have what they call here in England drinks and nibbles. But my drinks and nibbles are not ordinary drinks and nibbles. And I love it because it's a variety of textures, flavors, smells, tastes, and it's almost like having a picnic. It's an elegant picnic. Rustic, elegance, refined. So, what I'd like to start with are the elements of what I like to put on my sharing boards or my cheese boards. I like to have a good pate, and I love pate. I never used to like pate because I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to have it. I wasn't sure why I wasn't, thinking about eating ground up liver. But one time I was starving on a plane coming back from Cyprus, and all they had was sort of this tray of cheese and pate, and I ate it and I said, oh my God, what have I been missing? They're so delicious. So now I always like to have pate on my cheese boards. So this was a cute little pate that I found at a local store that comes in this sweet little pot. And I couldn't resist that because it will work on the cheese boards aesthetically very nicely. And then you get to reuse the pot. Perfect. The other thing I like to include is a chutney. So I have a farmhouse chutney, and then I have a red onion chutney. And those work very nicely as a counterpart to the pate. So it can cut the richness of the pate with that little bit of citrusy fruit, vinegary fruit. So that's really nice. Another element I like to have on my cheese boards are olives, sort of a good nibbling food. Some really nice biscuits or crackers. I got this from the MIDDLEWICK farm shop. These are toast for cheese, and it's dates, hazelnut, and pumpkin seeds. And then this one is a chickpea crisp bread with seeds and black pepper. So it's crunchy. Again, you want the different flavors and textures. So a nice crunch. And then I have a variety of cheeses. So I do have a nice selection, once again, from the MIDDLEWICK farm shop of Somerset local cheeses. And I also have a camembert, which again comes so lovely already. So all you do is remove the inner packaging and then you can serve it just like this on the board, and it adds to that rustic element. So I am very old school about brie. I think that brie should be on every cheese board. So I do like a variety of local but also French cheeses. So a brie, a camembert, and a goat's cheese. And goat's cheese is phenomenal. If you've never tried goat's cheese, you are missing out because it is just so creamy and fresh and alive in your mouth, and it's very versatile. You can take goat's cheese and mix it into sauces over pasta. It gives it a nice tang as well, so I love using goat's cheese as well. And so here we have a log of the goat's cheese, which, it's really kind of boring. So something nice to do is to get some fresh herbs. So I've chosen to get chives and just do little chopping. And you can use anything actually for coating. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the goat's cheese into the chives, and it just looks nice, and it's more flavorful. You're adding another flavor dimension to the goat's cheese, which again is pretty mild. So I think chives and goat cheese go really well together. So that's why I chose chives. But you could use dried cranberries. That's very nice. I've done that before. Could use pumpkin seeds. Could do black pepper even. Okay, so what we'll do, it's a little messy, but it's okay to get messy. We're in a kitchen, you get messy. So you're just starting to just roll it in the chives. And it's just your little goat's cheese chive log now. Okay, so I'm not going to handle that again because it's going to be, like I said, it is a bit messy. You may want to put your goat's cheese log in the freezer for about 10 minutes. That makes this application even easier because you don't get all the little messy fingers, but we can lick those up later. So we've got our cheese elements. We also have to have fruit and veg. So I've done a variety of grapes. These are all seedless grapes. Please don't get seeded grapes. It's just awkward to be at a party and try to get the seeds out of your mouth, and it's just get seedless grapes. Everyone has seedless grapes nowadays. Then I also decided to get some tomato on the vine, which I love, and this is more of a garnishing aspect, but of course they're delicious and sweet. And I chose a variety of fresh radishes. And then what I'd like to also include, I've got figs, which are the best. So figs always elevate your cheese board, and it just makes it more special for your guests. And then I have a variety of dried fruits and nuts, which you'll see how I'll put it all together. So let's do our first cheese board on this side. And I always like to start with the obvious choice, the cheese, because the cheese it's got angles, it's got shape. So you're really starting to shape your cheese board by the placement of your cheeses. So do I want to make the brie the centerpiece of this cheese board? I don't think I do. I think I want to go sort of right around there. So we've got a brie, and then you're also thinking about color. With the brie, because it's like the goat's cheese, it's pretty boring to look at. That's when I'll go to the figs. Now the figs give a lovely topping on the brie. And it's just, you know, it's got that beautiful pink, soft flesh. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. And it's a beautiful flavor with the brie. So we just place the figs on. Just like so, nothing too fancy, but it's just enough. So we've got one cheese on there. Now we look at my other cheese options to balance it out. So I've got this very local Somerset cheese, and in Cheddar, which is just down the road, they store these big, what are they called, rounds of cheese in caves. So this is one of those that was stored in a Somerset cave, probably in Cheddar, hence Cheddar cheese. So I'll put some of that on there. Then I think we'll do, because this is quite a big piece of brie, I'm not going to put the camembert on because they're very similar. So we'll do something else. I think I'll cut this in half. This one is also a local Somerset cheddar cheese. I'll put it over here. So now we've got 3 cheeses on that board. And so then I would like to also put on one of the pâtés. So I'll put that in the middle. Sort of a nice middle balance to that. If I can open it, I'll put it in the middle. Let's try the other one. There we go. So probably what I'll end up doing is just popping a little knife in there so that people can easily take it out. So I've got some of those elements that I want on there. Then I'm going to go to the chutney. So the chutney will go sort of live near the pâté because most people will put it on together. And then we'll start putting in our cracker element. You can hear this. These are going to be really good with the soft brie because they're nice and crispy. And these are very rustic, which I love. So we kind of just throw them in. Just put them toward the side there. A little bit there. And then we'll have some of these lovely crisp breads. Three here. Really rustic. Good. So now, moving over into the fruit zone, what I'd like to definitely put on here are some grapes. As soon as you add grapes to a cheese board, it just, I don't know, I want to go to Tuscany or something. It's just so luscious, and it just starts to feel like summer and friends and luxury, and I think it's just such a good touch to have grapes. And I like to leave them whole. I don't like to cut them all into little, I like a big bunch of grapes on there because it's just luscious. It's elegant, it's lush, it's beautiful. Okay, so then we have a little bit of the veg. So we'll do some tomatoes on the vine, which again, just an element of real rustic but elegant. And then we'll throw in a few of these radishes, just sort of randomly. You can see how I'm building this. It's sort of, you start with the bigger elements and then you add in sort of the smaller ones, and put them just where you feel they look pretty, and where a little surprise. All of a sudden, a guest will, oh, look at that radish! I didn't see that. How wonderful! So there's the basic. Now what I'm going to do is I have little pots of nuts and dried fruit, and that's kind of a sprinkling. So again, they're little fun little treats that your friends will find. So I'll just put a little line of nuts around the board, just spread out like that. From there. Okay, this is looking good. I'm happy with this. What I think we'll probably finish with is flowers. And I love garnishing with flowers because fresh flowers, again, it just, it's not only is it inviting and it's pretty, but we eat with our eyes first. So when you get a platter or cheese board brought to you with these lovely elements of color and flowers and textures, you're already looking at it and saying, oh my God, this is going to be a party. This is beautiful. So there's your first cheese board. So we're going to move on to the second cheese board. Again, choosing the cheese first. So since I put the goat's cheese on this one, there's a little bit of a mess here, so I'm just going to cover it up with the goat's cheese. So I put the log here. There it is. Again, it's a little messy, but that's okay. You can always clean up. That's what kitchen towels are for. And then we're going to do the camembert. And I love the little red and white rustic camembert. And I would kind of just do like, sort of like that. Put the cover to the side. And I think that would look lovely. We will keep the chutney on that one. And I think we're going to add olives to this one. So we're going to put some olives to that one. We'll add in our bread element. Nice, crispy, crummy, yummy bread. Okay. Grapes, definitely have to have some grapes. I think I'm going to put the tomatoes next to the goat's cheese because it's a nice contrast with the red and the green and the white. And we'll do some radishes, just sort of spread out. One of my favorite things to do when you're sharing this with guests is to sort of have that experience with your friends that say, oh my God, did you try the chutney on, the goat's cheese with a nut? try that. That's a like flavor sensation. And so it's just fun to share the experience of eating like this. And I just think it's just nice because it's a variety. You don't have a big plate of the same thing, which I get very bored with. So I think it's really nice. Then we'll do the grapes. Let's see, this is getting loaded, but it's good, it's lush. I'll do the black grapes here. There. And now we're going to I'm going to put some dried cranberries on this because I think that would be quite good with the camembert. So we'll put a little cranberries that will live there. And I think I'll do a few fig slices as well because they're just nice. And you could do something sort of even more lush and just put a whole sort of fig right there. Or half a fig, but a nice big bite of fig. And maybe just right here. Okay, and we'll give this tray some of the nuts. Nice, just a variety of roasted nuts. And there's got to be something for everyone on one of these boards. There's going to be one thing, like I don't particularly care for olives, but there's so many other things going on here that I don't need to worry about eating the olives. Okay, so that one's done. Let me just clean up a little. Although I didn't put flowers on that one, but I think I'm going to. So we'll pop in. I mean, yellow flowers are just so happy and bright, and it's just summery. So a nice yellow flower on there, a nice sunflower. And really, that's all you need for that. That's beautiful. These two boards, if I was presented these two boards, I would be in heaven. Okay, so getting to our last board. Aha! We've got that pate again. So we're going to put our cheeses on first, kind of at the angle. So this one I'm going to do more sort of from the edges working in. And then the pate right in the middle. Put our lovely crisp bread sort of here. Good. And what else we've got? Some of these lovely vine tomatoes. Again, the grapes. And instead of doing the fig on the brie, I'll just do some dried cranberries, which looks really pretty. And it is good to know when to stop and edit yourself occasionally when doing something like this. Sometimes less is more, sometimes it's like, oh, okay, now stop, and that's enough, and you've got the right visual. Because you can be quite creative with food, and you can be quite artistic with food, which I love. But sometimes I think it can get sort of a little too much, kind of a dot of foam here and a swirl here, and you're sort of like, how do I eat this? So I like to be visually stimulated, but I like to know how to approach a dish and that I'm not intimidated by what they're putting on my plate. So I think what we're going to do is put in some more grapes. Maybe we'll do some green grapes on this one. These are lovely. Right here, and that's cheese. And we're almost done. We're almost done. I think what I'll do is the nuts go down the side here. Again, this is like your sprinkle element. It's like the final little garnish. So I always like to do that last. And that's kind of what finishes the cheese boards. Some of that. And why not do a fig? Let it live there. And then we'll do some flowers. Do some nice pink ones. And actually, I think that's done. So these are really beautiful, easy things to do. It's just having the right components and knowing the balance of each board. Like I'm saying, to have the creamy cheeses and the hard cheeses and the crisp crackers and then the creamy pate and then the, bites luscious fruit. It's just a lovely thing to share, and it's beautiful, and it's a gift of love. It's cooking from love, and that's what we're all about here. So join us again, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we want to thank MIDDLEWICK Holiday Cottages for hosting us in their lovely holiday cottage kitchen, and also go visit their farm shop. They have many of these beautiful cheeses and other ingredients right here in Glastonbury. And don't forget, visit hautecuisinecouture.com. I'm your host, Heidi Couture. Thank you for joining me.